Hey everyone, I want to do another video on why this tax reconciliation bill that reduces the suppressor and SBR tax to zero, but leaves the registry in place is terrible for us. It's actually worse. I mean, we're better off just leaving it the way it is. Okay, so the two reasons. Okay, one I spoke about earlier. So number one, okay, if we reduce the tax to zero now, okay, what that means is the next time that a reconciliation bill comes up, we can't try to get it out of the registry then, because now, right, reducing the tax to zero is actually having an effect on the budget. Okay, so because of that, you're able to include it in there and you're able to get it out with the registry intact, because the purpose of the registry was to keep track of the tax stamp. Okay, so yeah, if we reduce it to zero now, the next time the reconciliation comes up, right, at that point the tax is zero. So removing the SBRs and the suppressors out of the NFA doesn't change, has no budget impact, okay, because the tax is zero. So absolutely at that point, I mean, yeah, I can see the logical argument that, you know what, this doesn't belong in a tax bill. It belongs there now. Okay, now is the time to do it. But the other side of this, right, is that if we reduce the tax to zero now, down the road, when Democrats eventually get back to power, and they will, right? They will, because you know what? They're going to come around and they're going to promise a whole bunch of free stuff that they can't deliver on. But people are going to vote for them. You know, just they're going to believe, they're going to, you know, the free stuff sounds really good. So that's what Democrats are always going to run on. Okay, so at some point, either in the midterms or soon after, they're going to be back in power. Okay, so when Democrats come back into power, okay, what they're going to do is they're going to use this tax reconciliation to now raise the tax stamp to $5,000 per SBR or suppressor, and they will be able to do it, right, because it is a tax item. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're putting ourselves in a position where we reduce this tax stamp to zero, but we can't get it out of the registry. But we're leaving it in the registry so that the next time Democrats are in power, they're able to now increase that tax up to $5,000. And they're going to argue that, hey, back in 1934 when they passed it, you know, that is because back then, like, suppressors were like $6 suppressor. So basically the suppressors were $6, the tax stamp was $200. So today, with suppressors being whatever they are, $500-600, the same relative tax would be $5,000 per suppressor. And what they would also be able to do is they would be able to tax you retroactively. Okay, you know, they can say that you got to go back and you got to pay the $5,000 tax on all the stuff, all the suppressors and SBRs that you bought in the past. And if you think that they can't do that, I mean, just look at what they do with, like, property taxes and inheritance tax, right? They're basically taxing you for stuff that you bought in the past. Okay, so there's already a framework for this. So we got to get these things out of the registry so that we're in a position to say, I don't have anything. Okay, so the registry is the problem here. It's not the tax stamp. It's the registry, where they can go back and they can tax you again and again and again, just like they tax you on your house and, you know, on other things that you own. Okay, so please, I'm gonna, you spread the word. Republicans are not doing us a favor, right? They're doing us zero favor right now by just reducing the tax stamp to zero. Okay, and leaving the registry in place. And you know what? At this point, they can't even. They don't have the option of just leaving it as is, because they've kind of already introduced the idea. So even if they leave the tax stamp at $200, when Democrats do come back into power, I mean, they're gonna use the reconciliation to basically tax us at $5,000, you know, per suppressor or per SBR. So the registry's got to go. The registry is the problem. Okay. And J.D. Vance can fix this by himself. Okay, he's got the power to do this as the president of the Senate. Thune also has the power. However, I don't see Thune as somebody that has an interest in doing this. He's not running for president, but I think J.D. Vance is going to want to run for president. And I'm telling you guys right now, if J.D. Vance doesn't take care of this right now, when he's running for president, I'm going to be running videos that are going to be constantly reminding everyone that, you know what, he had an opportunity to get SBRs and suppressors out of the NFA, and he did not. Okay, so right now is his one chance to get this right. So I'm going to put I am going to list the phone number for the Senate switchboard. You should call your senators. You should call Thune. And even if the Democrats just get the calls in, flood the lines, even if they shut down the switchboard, you know, that's a good sign. Okay, so putting in so many calls that they shut down the switchboard is something that's going to, you know, that still shows the interest. Okay, so I'll include the number for the Senate switchboards. Put your calls in. Put in multiple calls. There's nothing that says that you can't call, you know, several times a day. This is where it counts, guys. It's now or never. Okay, so drop some comments. Talk to you all soon.